Great, here we go. All right, so I'm just gonna join you here. Does that work?
Yep.
And actually, let's come a tiny bit closer. Hello and welcome to be my guest with Erika Toraya. This is Joel.
Hello.
Joel, you okay saying your last name?
Yeah, my last name's Ellie.
Okay. So, and sometimes people are secretive.
Of course.
And I met you here. We're actually behind the gym. And why is that? Where does that come from?
Well, I used to, and I'm new to interviews, so I don't know if I look at you in the camera.
Yeah, both. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I used to come to the gym, and I'd always see an amputee here. His name's Jesse, and he's got one arm. And whenever I came to the gym, when I see him here working out, all my problems just looked a little smaller than they were. Because I'm sitting here saying I'm sore, or I'm tired, or I don't have the energy, and this guy's over here with no arm. So as soon as the amputation happened to me,
so you saw him before this happened to you?
Yeah. And I also became a believer before this happened. I think that's why I'm dealing with it so well. But
It's nice to meet you.
yeah, since I became a believer now, I believe in God. Instead of looking at this as some horrible situation, it's helping to cement my purpose. Because I've always wanted to be a personal trainer, a motivational speaker, a group fitness instructor, and inspire people through health and fitness. And now I've inspired more people since this happened than all the hard work I put in the past. So that's the way I look at it, is that even when I'm having a bad day and I'm in a lot of pain and I'm at the gym, there's always someone looking who might be inspired for the fact that I'm even there. So I think that this happened to me to help inspire more and motivate more people, and I think it's something that we're lacking a lot in our social media today.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so you shared with me that it went from one day to the next, as far as you have both your legs and now you have one leg.
Yeah.
What is that even like, and how you shared kind of how you handled it, that believing in God, that there's a purpose behind this. But what is that even like?
It was crazy. I woke up in the hospital. I found out I had a blood clot when I was sleeping, and they had to amputate my leg. I was under so much medication at the hospital. My parents told me that I cried for like a minute, and then I handled it pretty well. I know a lot of amputees who, for the first few years after getting amputation, first few months or years, become alcoholics, addicts on lots of drug medication. I've already had those problems in the past, so it was really important to me to do this the right way. So when I got out of the hospital, I had a few rough weeks, and I checked myself into sober living. And the thing that keeps me positive are when people come up to me, like you did, and tell me like that I've inspired them or helped them today for somehow. And I really want to use my experience in social media and my exercising to actually do something positive and beneficial over our social medias.
Absolutely. So you're very aware how things can be so negative, and you're wanting to be contra that.
Yes.
And make things inspiring.
Yeah.
I can't believe you found out you didn't have your leg, and you cried for a minute, and then you're over that. It can't always be that easy. I mean, there's got to be something else where you're like, okay, there are times maybe it is hard to accept. Do you have that? Do you go through that?
Yeah, it's not something I really talk about that often, but I try to be as transparent as I am, because we all have problems, and I try to be as honest as I can. When I was in the hospital, what got me through it was all the visitations, all my friends and family and people from church, because I was hardly ever alone. Every time I had a second to play the victim and to think about how hard things would get, someone would text me or call me or would surprise me. So the hospital, that's what went really well. And all the current technology and prosthetics, family and friends kept telling me, you're going to walk again, you're going to run again, everything's going to be okay, this isn't going to handicap you for the rest of your life. So that stuff helped. Something that you don't really hear about from amputees or on the news or media, though, is that just because you get a prosthetic doesn't mean that you're walking again and life is great. I know a lot of amputees who don't even wear the prosthetics because it causes so much pain or uncomfortability that they're going to give up walking just not to wear it. So it's a journey. I just got mine, but I'm not telling people. Yeah, I'm not telling people about it really, because the initial reaction is, oh my God, that's so amazing, you're walking.
It's not done.
And it's a long journey. The other thing, like you were saying, is that a lot of us over social media or in person, we like to highlight all of our happiness and take pictures of us smiling on vacations, but you don't see me struggling going to the restroom or going to the bathroom in the middle of the night and falling or something. You don't see all that stuff. if you see the movie Stronger, it kind of helps explain what an amputee goes through a lot more with Jake. Anyway.
Okay, I need to check that out. Stronger.
Yeah,
You
Stronger.
mentioned that.
Yeah, well, it's about the Boston Marathon massacre, and
Yes.
he becomes a bilateral amputee.
I would like to watch
But probably the most personal thing I can share that I'm going through specifically is I think fitness people, a lot of us have body dysmorphia. We basically look in the mirror and we always see something else to improve, or we always compare ourselves to our most fit shape. The problems I've been struggling with the most, which I'm very blessed for, I'm not drowning in self-pity or depression like a lot are. My thing is my self-image has changed.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's weird to be rolling by a restaurant in my wheelchair and seeing families and friends and people dating and stuff, smiling and having dinner and kind of looking normal, and I see a reflection in the mirror of me like rolling by, which is kind of tough. And the other thing is that I haven't dated or asked anyone out since either. And I know that the right girl is not going to care about this kind of thing, but
You are
it's
very
just,
social with the girls, though. I did see.
I-
Right before I met you, you met another girl.
Yeah, no,
I'm like, this guy knows how to.
yeah, I
how
try to be
introduce
as
himself.
I try to be as friendly as I can.
Yes.
But what I've been noticing the biggest difference is that people see me differently, which is okay. I always try to put myself in someone else's shoes. People are very overly nice to me all the time, which is cool because I see where they're
but-
coming from. But some people, some types of people, certain
Yeah.
types of people, wealth, generations, races, something, I get treated a little differently now because there's always a little hint of pity or
That's what I
something.
wondered.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why the dating thing has been confusing for me because for the last
Absolutely.
29 years of my life, I've been trying to learn how to talk to women successfully. And now I can't tell the
Yeah.
difference between flirting or pity or being nice or being, so that's probably one of the biggest
I
struggles.
think you'll know. I think that's just one other issue,
Yeah.
if you will, in men and women getting along, that right person, all the things that will connect well with someone. And I think you'll know, right? You become friends and how you interact, and you can tell if someone respects you or how. I think you feel that.
Yeah, it is kind of hard to decipher the difference between someone being interested in dating you or being your friend,
Yeah.
or someone just really respecting and liking you for showing your character and your strength. So it's but it's that's where my journey is.
Right.
Yeah.
How long has it been now?
This happened a week after my birthday, August 31st, I think. So about 6 months ago.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
not very long, and yet you've come a long way.
Yeah. One more thing that a lot of people don't know with amputees is a lot of stuff that has to go with prosthetics, insurance companies, doctors, and stuff like that.
Yes.
Any new amputees or anyone who has friends who have just become an amputee or in the hospital, check out Adaptive Joel Facebook page, or Adaptive Jim, or Adaptive Journeys.
Okay.
Jim is another guy I am good friends with who's been an
great.
amputee, who's well connected in the amputee world. And we actually just started a support group for the LA Ventura County area.
That's
we,
wonderful.
Yeah, we called up every number online for all these support groups that said they're support groups, but you'd always get,
Sorry for the noise.
yeah, you'd always get the machine, or you wouldn't get a response to your email. So Jim has been working on it for a year, and then when he met me, I inspired him to finish the project he started. So we started with 4 people back in November. Every second Saturday we meet in Valencia from 11 till 1. And it's our support group called Adaptive Journeys for Ventura, LA County, and we meet in Valencia next to Magic Mountain at 11 every second Saturday.
That's so
Yeah, so
great.
next Saturday we meet again. Anyone who's an amputee or close to one is more than welcome to come and try to get involved.
I love that. You didn't share that with me the
Yeah.
day I met you, and that is just what we all need to do is where we're called our niche, which is your niche, and reaching out for others, and that's what you're doing, and you're making it not only about your healing but helping others.
Yeah, and I was actually talking about the same thing this morning, that our culture is so much about individuality. It's very much, you live with your parents, you're a loser. You live with your family, you're not successful. And community is so important. I want to live with my best friends and work with my family and hang out and go to the gym with people.
Yeah.
So this experience has showed me stuff like that. Yeah.
I think all the times we struggle and go through difficult times, that's when we are forced to kind of reach out and ask people, hey, can you meet up with me? Can we talk?
Yeah.
I need some little comfort. Otherwise, we're just, hey, I'm in control. I can do this life thing, and I don't, need much help. But
Yeah,
we
it's
really
difficult because
do.
people see it as asking help. I have to swallow my ego and pride and ask
Yes.
too, because in society it's kind of like a weak thing. Like, oh, I need help. I'm playing the victim or something. But
Right, no.
but yeah, we're creatures of community. Like,
This is a bad spot,
Yeah.
sorry.
we're,
But we like the building and the blue
yeah.
sky, and, and we're right by the gym.
Yeah.
So good food for thought for us to consider what we're doing to give back, what we struggle with, what other people struggle with. What do you wish people would be sensitive about, other than one thing that you said? I'm thinking, don't be overly nice, or not even overly nice, but don't be pitying you. It would be
Right.
one of mine, of just like, there's so, you know, Vic Vujicic?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love him. I can't say his last name, but he's awesome. I mean, he does things that people with two legs would never do because they'd be scared to do, like surfing. And he has one foot and no legs and no arms, and I'm just happily amazed by him, not pitifully, oh, so sad, because he's not living that way the same as you.
Yeah.
So what other things would you say, if only people understood this or that, what would you say?
I guess if I had to summarize it into one word, I would hope people would work more on empathy. Being involved in health and fitness and personal training and nutrition my whole life, empathy is a huge part of any doctor, physical therapy, or training. To put yourself into someone else's shoes. And so sometimes people over pity me or over nice me or run from across the street to open a door for me. And in my head I'm thinking, did you think for the last 6 months I can't open doors and that I need you? But I look at it from their point of view, and it's like, wow, they want to help and they see I'm struggling.
Good,
So
that's great.
I always say thank you, even though sometimes it takes them longer to open the door than if they just stayed there and I did it. But I practice empathy, and I think if others practice it too, and the only reason why I bring this up is because empathy and health. I don't mean to be judgmental or negative. I just think laziness is a really big thing in the U.S. today, which goes along with the way we eat, the way we exercise, obesity, and all that. So there's been a few times where I've been on the train, waiting for the elevator, and people run in before me, and it's mostly older people, mostly bigger in size people, and they're just like, oh, catch the next one. And I'm like,
how rude.
yeah, and
They
I'm just
actually
like,
say that?
yeah, and
People, please.
instead of me being like, I have all these great sarcastic, mean things to say, but it's
Don't be mean.
yeah,
You can be
but
sarcastic and
myself,
funny.
yeah, but part of my self growth is not reacting to things, so I try to stay quiet and smile. But then on the
Wow,
inside, though,
that's
I'm like,
tough.
you got 2 legs, get up the stairs. What's the worst that could happen? You might lose some weight, improve your heart, like,
Right.
and help
Yes
your
and
joints.
no, because
Yeah.
again, like kind of we said a little bit ago, yes, because for sure more of us need to think
But I have
about
to
that.
practice empathy too,
But
because
we
they
have
could
no idea how maybe one of them has heart condition
can't even walk
and
up the
they
stairs.
can't go up the stairs.
Yeah.
So we just never know what someone's going through. And
So I have to practice empathy too, even though.
we all do, right? Yeah. What was another thing I was going to ask you? Oh, I just missed it. But I think I told you I'm volunteering at the Braille Center, and
yeah.
one of the things I've learned too is to ask. Like, you're not just going to grab a blind person and show them across the street. They're like, whoa, you're freaking me out. What?
Right.
I don't know you're doing this. I know how to do this. If I need help, I'll ask, or ask me if you can help me out. And so there was a whole video of how to do that. And I think with anything, with blind, with in a wheelchair, there's all of these need sensitivities.
Yeah.
And for us to just stop and think, or just to ask, like, hey buddy, can I get the door, or is it harder if I help you?
Right,
You might
yeah.
say, oh, you know what, I got it, I'll get it for you.
Yeah, I think sometimes maybe our hearts are in the right place and we want to do
Yes.
something nice, but we forget about the whole communication and
Yeah.
empathy part of it.
Right.
And
And to relax a little bit.
Yeah.
We're still like, what do I do in
like
this
it's a big
situation?
rush or something.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And I remember that when we first talked, we were talking about how people have said to me, I have no idea what you're going through. I feel so bad. I wish I understood. And we were joking around about that because I was like, you
Yeah.
can. Go for one day with one leg. Just if you
Yeah.
really want to see what it's like, or see if it's hard or not as hard as you thought, or you want to relate or something, try it out.
So we're going to do this.
Yeah.
We're
So
gonna take a few different
I
times.
brought your this idea up to you. It's
Yes,
like
we're
maybe
gonna
I'll
do
go a
this.
day being blind, and you can go a day with one leg and share our experiences.
It's really hard.
Yeah, but it'll only be one day, but it'd be tough. And then you could
No,
actually
very
say,
good.
I feel so sorry. I don't really know what you're going through, but I tried it for a day, and then you really
Yes,
kind of
exactly.
understand.
So look for that, because we are going to do that.
All right, good.
And we're going to talk about that right now. So thank you all for watching part of Be My Guest with Erika Toraya, and thank you, Joel Allen, for being my guest. I knew when I saw him, like, I need to talk to this guy. And just be a blessing to all those around, just like he is. And thank you so much for joining us.
And I did want to mention one more last thing.
And that email, or to reach you again.
Yeah. So for a new amputee who's currently in the hospital or just got out or is about to get amputated, I did mention Adaptive Journey support group, but on Adaptive Joel, my Facebook page, I actually have a lot of videos and information on. I had to make 1,000 phone calls dealing with insurance, prosthetics, physical therapy. There's a lot of things you have to do, even calling up rides to get there. And there's a lot of figuring out and a lot of research and studying, but I did all that and I recorded it all and wrote it all down.
Wonderful.
So you can just go to my page and kind of have a guideline to follow. And also my Instagram is JOEL333. My nickname's Superleg. So if you look for Joel Blake Allen on Facebook or Joel333 on Instagram, I just use those to try to inspire people. Maybe use it as a pre-workout, watch my Instagram before you get in the gym and be like, all right, now I'm amped up or something.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Okay, great. So we know how to find you on Instagram. We know how to find the information so people need it. So please share with anyone that you know that might be going through this journey and not to go through it alone.
And don't hesitate to contact me. I have my information online. You can always call, text, email, or anything.
That's so great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Enjoy your day.
Might be a different spot because the camera. There you go.